This the 13th day of November 2018. 4 of the 5 members are present, so we do have a quorum. One of our members, Mr. Dale Teacup, is recovering from surgery, so he is not here. The minutes were sent to you, members, by email. I would entertain a motion that we approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those nay. Are approved. Payment of claims. The claims were sent to you by email for your review. I would entertain a motion that we approve the claims.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any question or discussion regarding any of the claims? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those nay. Claims are approved for payment. Report of the utility superintendent, Mr. Salisbury.
Good evening.
Evening.
Sorry about that. So tonight we have a few things on the agenda. We'll start with change order number 7. That's for the Richart Water Treatment Plant. This is, if you recall, our previous change order we did where we had to, when we did the work on well number 2, we had to have that well cleaned. There was debris found in the bottom of it. So this is basically, it's the same process, but for well number 1. And so, and it's the same price as what they charge for well number 2. So we recommend approval of that change order because we do need to get that work done before we can put well 1 back together. And that will kind of segue into my next point about Richart, is we did get an updated project schedule on that. And so it's a very aggressive schedule, but it looks like we're talking perhaps maybe even having even all the demolition complete by the middle of December, or maybe the 3rd week in December. The only thing that'll probably wait till 2019 will probably be the paving, the final asphalt paving, because we'll have to do that in the spring. But we should be pumping water through that plant here just very, very shortly. So then the next thing is for approval of our agreement with Shrewsbury and Associates for that Franklin Road water main project. And that includes all the final review and any comments or anything that needs to be addressed on the final design, as well as the construction inspection, and then the bid phase and construction admin parts of that project. So, and then of course the final approval thing will be on our 2019 budget. But so we are continuing to see increases in the number of people signing up on our online bill pay system, and so that's going well. We're going to continue to get the word out through various means, encouraging people to get signed up. We've also deployed 2 kiosks, or they're not actually deployed yet, soon to be. We have them, and we got one put together upstairs. Actually, they're pretty neat. We'll have one in the lobby here, then the one at the business office lobby, where you can actually come in and set up, pay your accounts. It's like a payment kiosk. So we're going to be looking at deploying a few of those, and maybe in other points in the city too. Yeah.
If you don't mind, what will it be the operation hours of this building and that building?
Yes.
How you would access it? Okay.
Yes. We're also going to be looking at perhaps other places like banks or grocery stores or something like that, where we can come to some kind of an agreement and get some remote payment places out there and make it more convenient for our customers to make payments. So we did, this past Wednesday, had our meeting with the property owners on our 2 water main projects that Shrewsbury is working on for us on 62nd Street and the other one on Carroll Road in the 5400 block. The meeting went very well. I think by and large, everybody was in favor of the project, and I don't anticipate that we'll have a whole lot of problems getting the easements we need. But for those folks who could not make it, we're going to do another round of communication. We hope to sometime in maybe the mid-January having the actual surveyed plats for each property describing in detail the easement location and all that, and then actually make formal request of the property owners at that time for the grant of easement and keep those projects moving forward. Then one other thing that we're getting started on gathering information and costs is to replace our old two-way radio system. We have a bunch of units that are just really old. The batteries are not all that great, and with a system-wide MECA upgrade that's going on right now, this is a time for us to go ahead and update that system. That's our fail-safe or fallback emergency communications. And so we want to make sure we have good equipment. Then we have some, actually some vehicles that still are lacking radios, emergency type vehicles, dump trucks, other service trucks that need to have those two-way radios in them. So we'll be getting some costs together to do that as well.
Do you have an idea of how many trucks you're thinking are in that number that are obsolete with the systems?
Right off the top of my head, I want to say maybe around 13 or 14. I didn't bring the actual list with me. But that's total number of radios, period. That would be trucks and the handhelds that we need to get everybody up to date. Other than that, we're just getting ready for winter.
Oh, boy.
Hey.
I had a question here, Scott. First of all, I want to say thank you for allowing us to receive this budget and giving me, myself, plenty of time to look through it. And I thought it was quite interesting. You know, sometimes we'll get a budget and we're voting and haven't really had a chance to review it. But this time, that was not the case. And I had a couple of questions about it. I don't know if now is the time or should we wait till later?
May want to wait and have that discussion under new business when we present it for approval.
Okay, yeah, we'll just wait until we have a discussion when you bring it up.
It really doesn't make a lot of difference to me, but
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd like to,
go ahead, Terry.
okay. On page 19, under the capital improvement fund, I was noticing that we had 15 projects that were to be done, the way I understand it, after everything that's mandatory is being done. But in your comments, you were saying that, Scott, and I'm quoting you, and you on page 4, you were saying that the costs for these projects are estimates based upon 2016 figures. And I was just wanting to know that, just looking at them, there's different amounts here. So my question to you, Scott, is how do we go about establishing what gets done first? I mean, is there some type of priority?
Well, the priority comes from our 20-year master plan that Wessler had done for us.
Okay.
So in that project, so the phase 2 projects are, so what we are doing now, our phase 1 projects were the high priority ones. Phase 2 will consist of the Fort Harrison water plant work, Indian Lake, and I don't remember all of them. I think 52nd Street Tower completion may be in there. And then there are some other water main jobs. But remember too that we have our phase 2 projects. We also have ongoing water main projects that we're going to be doing on a regular basis as well. So I think with the Phase 2 projects total that we're likely to go to bond with, we're using 11 million roughly, and that was just based on conversation with the engineer on those projects. I know that we have to get updated numbers, and obviously those revised construction estimates, we're going to start working on design for Fort Harrison probably yet even this year. We've got a kickoff meeting, I think, coming next week to start scoping that project out. So there's going to be some tweaking of those numbers, but I think generally that'd be probably a pretty good close number.
Okay, I guess that's what I was wanting to know, because we're going to vote on the budget, and the amount that these projects are going to cost us at 3.2 million. So,
Well, the 3.2 million is what we're going to do with our in-house capital. That's the money we have in-house for capital. These Phase 2 projects are going to be bonded projects.
okay.
So, and I believe that we have that debt is already factored in, the debt payments already factored into the budget for round 2.
So I guess what I was driving at is this, as long as we stay within this projected amount, there would be no need for us to revisit and re-vote, or are we saying that this amount is going to be in the ballpark, whatever?
No, I think with the budget approved, I think we'll stay within that budget.
Okay,
I think I tended to, on the capital ones, tried to go a little high just to make sure we can come in under that.
okay. Well, that was my concern, because when you said that, these are not actual costs, it seemed like that might open the door for, for more costs than what we might anticipate.
Well, and the thing to do, though, would be to, if it looks like we put all these projects out there and all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute, if we do all this, we're going to blow through that money, then we'll back a project out or something like that in order to make sure we stay within the budget for that year.
Okay. So in the event that that should happen, then you would bring that back to the board for us to know what's going on?
Absolutely.
I had one point
Go ahead.
clarified. Obviously, given the financial history of the water utility, at least over the previous 5 to 10 years, there hasn't been a lot of this in-house capital being done. Hence, a sore need for that. However, we wanted to also maintain a certain balance in the capital improvement fund. So to Scott's point, if this number actually exceeds 3.2 million in actual bids, we can't do that because we don't want to let the capital improvement fund itself fall below a certain balance, and in this case, $1 million. So that's kind of what's driving the 3.2 million, is how much do we want to maintain in that fund for emergency purposes.
Right.
So we hope to be able to do something in this ballpark each and every year based on what we have, which is what is needed.
Okay.
But that will kind of also drive that final number is the minimum balance to maintain in the capital improvement fund.
That's what I needed to hear. Okay, thank you. That's basic.
Okay, thank you, Terry. Questions? Okay, unfinished business. I don't believe we have any unfinished business. Under new business, we begin with item number 1, approval of change order number 7 for Graves Plumbing Company for $18,635. So I would entertain a motion that we approve that change order.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or concerns regarding that matter? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those nay. That is approved. Item number 2, approval of Shrewsbury engagement contract for $73,000 on Franklin Road. Would entertain a motion that we approve that.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion regarding that matter? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those nay. That is approved. Item number 3, covenant approval for 4933 Penoyer Lane, that's lot 238. This would be a standard covenant approval. Entertain a motion that we approve that.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion regarding that matter? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That is approved. Item number 4, approval of the proposed 2019 utilities budget. Entertain a motion that that be approved.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions about that? If not, I have one, Jason, if I might. With the improvements that we're making, will that lead to an adjustment in our pilot?
It will.
That's not reflected yet, right? These things are not
Let me,
in service yet?
It's not reflected yet, you're correct, in the 2019 budget. Once the Phase 1 projects, actually, the 2019 includes the Phase 1 projects. Once the Phase 2 projects are complete, there will be a second adjustment to the pilot. I don't recall the exact number, but in the grand scheme of things, I would say it's a marginal increase relative to what's currently being paid. But I believe in the 2020 proposed budget will likely see that additional pilot amount. And then beyond that, unless there's another big Phase 3 down the road, that pilot number ought to stay in that rough, range thereafter.
Okay, okay, go ahead. I thought that would be the case. I just
Yep.
wanted to confirm. Anything further? If not, all those in favor of approving the budget, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Budget is approved. Account adjustments, we don't have any account adjustments. And I don't believe we have any remonstration or ratepayer dispute regarding disconnect notices. Citizens' comments, I don't believe we have any tonight. I would like to, before we adjourn, thank Julie and recognize her for a job well done. Thank you very much for helping us out. We've all got the email about changes there. And Tina, our new board secretary, is here tonight, so we have an opportunity to meet her. But thank you for your service, and thank you, Tina, for helping us out in the future. If there's nothing further, I'd entertain a motion that we adjourn.
Second. Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
I know you gotta run.
I gotta go to school, but I really appreciate it. It was very helpful.
Do what?